Happening, gang, in an absolutely fantastic mood. The weather is gorgeous and supplements have just been delivered, so I'm fucking buzzing. Ordered them at about 8 AM this morning from Load Up. It's now 5 o'clock and they've already been delivered. Same day delivery for free. What, mate? Absolutely buzzing. Supplement cupboard is looking absolutely spectacular now. That'll do. Thumbnail worthy. Maybe. We'll see. So, this is what we've had delivered today. A few of the essentials. Protein. I am so excited to taste this Perform Whey cinnamon donut. I'm obsessed with cinnamon as it is, but everyone is screaming about how good this protein tastes. The value for money as well is ridiculous. Just over 2 kilos. All of this shit from Load Up Supplements, £34 I think it was, which is cheap as fuck. So I'm super excited to taste this. It's just a whey blend. Not much to say about it. A little bit low on the protein, as proteins go, 21 grams. It'll do. Increase your chicken intake if you want a bit more. I'm gonna taste it. Now, only seasoned protein takers, openers, will know what I mean when I say how fucking annoying is it when you go to peel the lid off and it doesn't peel off. It like rips in two. Why do they do it like that? Fucking hell. Oh my god, is this a company that's fucking clocked it? Hold up a fucking moment. Oh my god. Oh! They're fucking sick bastards. Oh my god. It's glorious. Oh fuck. You don't realise how happy that makes me feel. And also how stupid that makes me look. The absolute incredible scent that's just come out of this as I opened it is extremely exciting. Now, even though I'm cutting, I'm going to waste calories on milk because protein always tastes better with milk. I love this company so much already. They've put the scooper at the top. What? No one ever does that. You have to go digging for miles till you find it. Don't know why I've gone orange all of a sudden, and I'm also not clued up enough on cameras to be able to work it out, so I'm just going to continue. What are you chatting? Oh, smells like cheesecake. Mixability seems alright. That is not a protein shake. I literally feel like I'm eating a cake. That's incredible. It's like, you know, it has a quality of, if anyone's ever had PhD diet whey, the only thing that's really good about that is that it's thick and it's like nice and sludgy a little bit, and it tastes like real food. It's got that quality, but then it also just tastes fucking incredible as well. My protein goal is getting fucking destroyed over the next few weeks, man. That's just so heavy. Now, this motherfucker is a pre-workout, and I have never ever taken a pre-workout in my life, so I think it's going to be quite hilarious to see what happens when I put this down my grid. Apparently it's quite strong. I wasn't aware, so what we'll probably do is half scoop it so I don't die. I don't know anything about pre-workout panels at all. I know that it's got a decent amount of citrulline malate and beta-alanine, and I understand that I'm going to be fucked up off it. So the reason I've ordered this, even though I've never had one before, is just simply beat training on with the resistance bands and in lockdown. Motivation's just a bit shit at the minute. So whacking a pre-workout in hopefully may get me up for it a little bit more than I currently am. Maybe hopefully I won't die in a second. And it's 100,000,000% kicked in. It's quite a nice feel. I thought it would be overpowering. Just head all over the gaff. It's quite nice, it's quite euphoric. I think this will be a good sesh. I got changed dead quick while I made this. It's scary that that's all it needs to fuck you up. I'm genuinely a bit scared. What the fuck, mate? It tastes like the bottom of a Tango Ice Blast if you let it melt. Slash Vimto. That's unreal. Incredible. What's also fantastic about today's session is first time having a pre-workout, but it's also the first session back from a deload, so I'm absolutely raring to go as it is, and I've whacked this in. Hopefully this is going to be the best session of my life. It says wait 30 minutes after you drank it to train, so we'll speak about the EAAs first. Next, we've got Muscle Sport, Amino Rev. This is EAs and BCAAs. Let me move that out the shot. Is that out? That'll do. And what we would basically take this for is to reduce muscle breakdown during training so that we can recover a little bit faster. When we're training, we will typically see muscle breakdown. Your body is trying to break down muscle to release amino acids, which are basically the building blocks of proteins and muscle. And it will be doing that so that it can use amino acids in order to supply energy when you're training hard. If we can take this, it will elevate our blood levels of amino acids and remove the need for the body to break down muscle tissue in order to get these amino acids. So that is there to improve recovery. The panel is a little bit mad. Hopefully I've put the panel on your screen now. We see typically what we want is at least 3 grams of leucine in an EAA supplement. We see it's a little bit lower, and isoleucine and valine are a little bit lower, and those are the ones that, those 3 together are the ones that are going to be stimulating muscle protein synthesis, specifically leucine. Leucine is the most important one. Because this is so low, it's a little bit iffy. What they're saying they've put in order to create a better response than having more leucine is this pure kick alpha ketoisocaproate, which is basically something that will be produced when we start to break down leucine. And when we supplement with this, there's studies sort of suggesting that we can elevate muscle protein synthesis, and therefore reduce the amount of muscle breakdown during the session without the presence of any amino acids, any actual amino acids. So basically what they're saying is, right, we've got lower leucine, but this kick is going to give us a more beneficial response. I'd like to see a little bit more research on it, so I don't really know why I've ordered it, but it probably is going to taste nice because it's Muscle Sport. So I'm going to give this a taste test too. Let's do it now. Right, the pre-workout has twatted me in the face. Feelings of euphoria. My face is a little bit itchy. Let's taste test the motherfucking EAA. Nah, it's very peachy. It's almost synthetic. Well, it is, but like I can tell it was made by man. Like that's not enough. It doesn't taste like peach. It's like, think of a peach sweet and then multiply its sickliness by like 200. Piece of advice: nail your intra workout, so nail your EAs, any carb powders that you're having. Start drinking them near the start of the session. Don't wait till halfway through the session. They also need to be absorbed over the gut lining. Although they're already broken down, you need to digest very little. You still need time to absorb them and get them into the bloodstream, so start drinking them either just before the session or within the first 10 minutes to get the most out of them. Right, let's stop moving around all over the fucking gaff and get this Q&A done. So, question number 1, probably the best question. Is getting a proper coffee machine with beans a necessary step up from ground instant coffee if I love coffee as well? Nah, I don't have a machine. I think they're just fucking dead confusing and hard to work. I reckon if you're interested in coffee or you want to make nicer coffee, get an AeroPress, because they're fucking like 20 quid and so easy to use, so quick to clean up, and they make the heaviest coffee. You can grind your own beans, but you don't necessarily need to. Like, it will make it taste a bit fresher and a bit nicer, and it's just the sickest fucking, the sickest smell of a morning when you wake up and there's freshly ground coffee in the air. You can't beat it. But you don't necessarily need to grind your own beans, but you can get a coffee grinder for cheap, like 25 quid. I think mine was from John Lewis. So my advice to you would be just get an AeroPress and don't worry too much about like getting beans straight away. Like, just find out what type of coffee you like first. Like, coffee from different altitudes and the different ways that the coffee bean was processed will make it taste a little bit different. So find out, do you like a dark roast that tastes like chocolatey, woody tones and all that shit? Or do you like something that's a little bit creamier, a little bit like fruitier? And then find out what coffee you like first and then go from there. Question number 2. Do you think too much output is worse for the body, e.g. making the body or mind feel bad? Yes, I definitely do. I always put it like this to clients: improving muscle mass or building muscle is, you were trying to find a balance between how much you can fuck yourself up or stimulate muscle growth and how much you can recover from. If you're not recovering from your training, you're not getting all the adaptations out of it. First, obviously the very obvious one is if you're not able to recover from training. So say, for example, you're training 4 times a week but you can't recover from those sessions, then every single session is going to be slightly below what you're capable of because you haven't recovered from the last session. So firstly, the intensity won't be there, but secondly, on top of that, the lack of ability to recover that comes with overtraining means that your nervous system is not in a position to be able to optimally grow muscle. So the two things which control everything in the body, including muscle growth or fat loss, if the goal is fat loss, is the nervous system and the endocrine system. The endocrine system is hormones and all that, and the nervous system is basically how your body interprets what you do to it and then how it sends messages to the rest of the body. So if you're overtraining, you're telling your endocrine system that you're stressed out. So your hormonal profile will be set up to try and reduce stress. It won't be set up to try and optimally build muscle growth. So for example, if you're overtraining, cortisol will be spiked up, and cortisol fights directly against testosterone and it will blunt the muscle building process. We've done a whole podcast on stress and how it affects body composition and what you can do to try and reduce the stress response. To some extent we need it. We need a bit of stress, but that's what we're doing when we're training. We're stressing the body out of touch to create an adaptation, but when we go too far it can become counterproductive. So to answer the question, definitely make sure the output isn't above what you're capable of. Question 3. How often should I train arms? It depends, and I hate to say it, and it's the answer to most questions. It completely depends. In general, your arms are going to be able to handle more volume than other parts of the body simply because the output that they can generate is not huge. So for example, if you did 10 sets on arms to failure, it would fuck you up, but if you did 10 sets on a hack squat to failure, it would fuck you up a lot more because in very simple terms, the muscles are smaller, they don't require as much from the nervous system. You'll be able to recover much better from more volume with arms, so you can hit them a little bit more throughout the week, a little bit more frequently, with a little bit more volume per session in general when we compare it with other body parts. However, how many times you should train your arms is completely dependent upon loads of factors, like are your arms dead shit or are they great? Like if they're your strongest body part, once a week. If they're like absolute dog shit compared to the rest of you, then probably 3, maybe 4 times a week even. And again, going back to the previous question about overtraining, Like, it needs to be an amount of volume across the week that you're able to recover from, but then it also needs to be enough volume that you're actually creating a stimulus for them. Take into consideration how much you need to bring your arms up, but and hitting them anywhere from 1 to 3 times per week with 5-6 sets a session potentially. It depends. Question 4, why does my weight keep going up and down? First thing I'll tell any clients who I ask to weigh themselves is expect it to be fucking madness. It will fluctuate up and down and there's not much you can do about it. It's like there's so many variables which will influence your scale weight, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you've put fat on if your scale weight has gone up. For example, if you have a really poor sleep, often you'll wake up heavier because you may be holding water. You may have had a really stressful day at work, and that will influence how much water you're retaining. If you've had a high salt meal for dinner, you may be holding more water. You may have not had a shit. You may have not had a piss. You may have had a bevy the night before and are now dehydrated. So all these things will influence your scale weight. So expect it to go up and down. What I would say the best thing to do is weigh yourself as often as you can, unless you get obsessed with it, in which case don't. Weigh yourself as often as you can and take an average across the week. So if you weigh yourself every morning at the same time, Monday to Sunday, take the average of all the readings. Week 2, do the same and compare the 2 averages. If it's moving in the correct direction when you compare the 2 averages across the 2 weeks, then that's good. Don't be pissed off if it shoots up by 1 kilo one day. It probably will fall back down the next day. Question 5, I'm gonna make this the last one. Why, I just locked my phone like an idiot. Why do you eat oranges with steak or beef mince? Great question. If iron is one of the biggest deficiencies across the UK, and for some reason people are scared of red meat nowadays, iron is probably one of the biggest micronutrients that you need to make sure you're fucking getting. It is directly responsible for transporting oxygen around your body, so if you're getting inadequate iron, you're a bit fucked. So why I'm eating orange with my steak is to extract more iron out of my steak. When we have oranges, it doesn't necessarily need to be an orange, just anything with vitamin C. Vitamin C is basically this thing called ascorbic acid, which interacts with forms of iron that are not as bioavailable, meaning your body isn't able to absorb them as well as it would a different form. It will transform that shit version of the iron into a form that you can absorb better. So having an orange or another piece of fruit that's high in vitamin C with a source of iron is going to make sure that you can absorb it a little bit better. It will work more so with forms of iron that aren't red meat. So if you were to have, for example, bran flakes which have been fortified with iron, I don't even know if that's a thing, if they do that. Any food which has iron in it that's not an animal source is probably going to be this shit version of the iron that we can't absorb as well. If you would have an orange, then it would help massively. So that's why. And we're gonna end the video there. I enjoyed that one. I hope the transitions came out looking as good as I've planned them out to be in my head. And if not, well. If you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, in fact, definitely subscribe. Comment and likes are optional. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna go on a bike ride because my foot is still broken, and I will see you in the next video.